Hello friends, welcome to my channel Tech Research. Friends, today we are going to launch our first episode of Research Talk Show. The idea of the show is to collaborate different researchers across the globe and share their challenges and experiences in their research journey. This will help other researchers to understand their research journey and learn from their experiences. Today we have our very special guest, my first mentor, Dr. Manish Joshi. Let me take out some time to introduce Dr. Manish Joshi. He has successfully completed his PhD from North Maharashtra University and received prestigious award in year 2018 for his efforts in popular science and technology by Department of Science and Technology from Government of India. He has received postdoc fellowship at University of Brunswick, Canada in 2008-9. He has guided 6 PhD students and published over 100 research papers in international journal and conference proceedings. Apart from research, he is active in publishing technology blogs in local languages in daily newspapers. He has also been invited to deliver talk on All India Radio. So let's welcome Dr. Manish Joshi. Hello sir, welcome here.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon from India.
So I'm very happy and delighted to have you as my special guest in this research talk show. So sir, my first question is, what is the most challenging thing while pursuing PhD or a researcher?
Okay, good question to start with. What is challenging in India? We have a saint who is popularly always used to say Shraddha and Saburi, means have faith and have patience. So when you do PhD or when you do research, any type of research, so these two words are very important: Shraddha and Saburi, faith and patience. Actually, what happens, like, you should have faith on yourself that you can do the work what you're thought of. Generally, at the start of the PhD, the researchers aims like, okay, I will do a very fantastic research and I will win Nobel Prize even. And then he starts, and then the first year comes, his patience starts dangling, and then he says that, okay, I will complete the PhD in 2 years. But as time passes, his patience starts decreasing, and he start thinking whether my research topic is good or whether I should change the supervisor, and like so many thoughts used to come as the time passes. What is important is that you should have patience. Like this phase comes in every researcher's life. So you should be motivated, have faith on yourself, keep on doing hard work.
Next question comes, what is the impact of publishing research papers in top level journals and conferences?
Scenario is that you can find n number of journals, and most of these journals are fake journals, because they just ask you to submit the paper on first day, and on the same day or on the second day they publish it. So it's like a large number of such journals are available. So they are fake journals, they are not good journals. Even they charge you money, and then you pay money, and then you get the paper published. But if you go for this easy way, then it's not advisable, it's not desirable, and it's not advisable also. Actually, you are doing a good work, and as I said, that patience is important. So you should patiently try to publish your research work, whatever good idea you have, whatever efforts you are putting into, so that it should be published in a very good journal, so that it will reach to large number of academicians who are working in that area. Instead, if you publish the paper in a easy go manner, then one thing is that it will not be having impact, means it will not be visible to all, it will not be visible to all people, so its reach will be very minimum. And as you try something hard, you will learn more. Like one of our mentor used to give a very good example. I like it very much. Like, it's like playing badminton, and if you play badminton to a novice, means you don't know anything, then you can defeat that particular person easily. So it's a game like 11-0 you win. But when you try for a very good journal, it's like you are playing with a champion. Say, for example, he used to give the example of Prakash Padukone, say, for example, badminton, or say Sindhu, PV Sindhu. If you are playing against her, then you will lost the first game with 11-0. But now, as you see her playing, you are now gaining how to play with her. So you are understand, and the next game you will lose with 11-2 or 11-3. So as you play, you are gaining some knowledge how to play, how to deal with the shots that she is playing. So same thing happens when you publish in a journal which is easily accepting your paper. So whatever good work you have done, you are throwing it in a bucket, say for example, dustbin, because it will not get noticed. But if you send it to a very good journal which is having good impact factor, then the editors over there will see it, and then they will see the idea, or they will comment it, they will reject it, but they will give you some good points. Okay, so your idea is good, but your presentation is not good.
Yeah.
Your presentation is good, but the way you write is not proceed. So even if your paper is get rejected, you have learned lot of things. You have learned lot of things, and this learning will help you. So version by version, your paper will get revised. So it's a sort of playing with a champion of that particular game. So here we want to publish a paper. So try to publish it in a good journal where your idea will be received. You will get good assessment of your idea. You will get good assessment of your writing. You will get good assessment of the way you write a paper. So it's complete. Means like it's a free of charge. Free of you don't have to pay anything. And people are evaluating it, peer review, and you get very good reviews. So that will help you to improve yourself. And sometimes people give you very good idea. You can collaborate with the reviewers later on also. So in this way, working with good journal, having good idea, good editorial panel, working with very good conferences where the proceeding will be published by good publishers is more important than publishing anywhere. So that's why I always used to say stress, or I always used to say that whoever come in contact with me and ask my suggestion, I used to say that try for some good journal, quality journal.
Yes.
And there are a lot of academic databases are available where we can find list of very good journals.
Right.
So don't go for easy publishing.
Yeah, I like the way you correlated with like badminton, play like a champion. I just loved your idea.
Yeah.
What are the key points to target the good level and top level journals and conferences?
I think that's a good idea. But as I said, that we can go through the various academic databases, good academic databases. Say Scopus has good academic database, even IEEE, as you said. And then we have SCI impact factor, generally, which is followed, which is used, and which is respected in our scientific community. So that SCI journal, SCIjournal.org, is a very good site where you have more than 13,000 number of journals available, which are indexed by that particular SCI. And you can find out your area category. More than 25 categories are there. You can choose the number of journals. And I will suggest that you target at one or two journals. Okay, let me target these journals. Having say impact factor less than 2 or something, 1.5 to 2, so that it will be okay. We have good editorial board of that particular journal. Once you have identified a journal, you have targeted a journal, then you should read many papers of that journal, so that unconsciously your mind will adapt the writing style of that journal.
Right. Yeah.
So you understand what the editorial board approves, what that particular journal's editorial board approves, what is the way that I should write, so that it will get published into that journal. So that's the idea. If you read more, say for example, 25 or so papers of that journal, then you will be easily able to identify, okay, this is the way that this journal wants paper in this manner or in this format or in this way. Okay, so that's a starting point that we can have. You should target one journal and then you can go ahead. And again, here, as I said, that you should target good journal, but don't target a journal at the start which is having impact factor 7 plus or 8 plus, so that it will be again very difficult. So less than 2 will be okay, so that to start with it will be okay point. So that's how you can start, and then how you can target your journal where you can publish your paper.
This is
So
really
that's-
helpful because now you have given us a nice trick how to identify the top journals, and also a good idea how to understand what we have to write and adapt the writing skill what the journal expects, and it slowly improves our writing skill as per what we are targeting for that journal. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yes.
My next point is learning is every day, and what is an important learning
Yes.
point while pursuing a PhD or researcher?
Okay. Learning is important thing. Like when you learn, when you do research, you are always learning, and that's the key point over here. As they say that if you complete your PhD, then it doesn't mean that you have completed your research.
Yeah.
Actually, it is a license that you
Yes.
get to do research.
Yes.
Yeah. So you keep on doing research later on also, because you have learned a technique, a good way of doing research. Which this PhD course is you can say it's a coursework for you that teaches you how to do research in a systematic manner. During research, what you can learn is that you collaborate with others. Collaborations is a very important thing, because if you do your research in isolation, it will not be very effective. It will not be very effective. Darwin did it when he was on the islands. So he studied various species, and then he came up with his famous article or journal paper. But it is not like that we can do it on islands and then in isolation. You have to collaborate with your peers, with your colleagues. So learn to collaborate. This is one thing that you should learn. And then another one is important is like nowadays, whatever idea you have of your field. Say there are many fields open, scientific fields are open around us. So we can think of interdisciplinary work also. Like your idea can be useful in another area, or the established or proven idea of another area, say for in social sciences, can be useful to your problem.
Yeah.
So try to look in various areas. So this interdisciplinary approach. So don't always I'm a computer science student and I'm doing PhD in computer science. So it means that I will only read computer science. So it doesn't help you.
Yeah.
It will not help you. So try reading biological research papers or some good reviews even. Not necessary to read the research paper. But what are the broad ideas which are being discussed in that particular area? So some of those ideas can be easily useful to you. So that sort of mix or hybrid approach will help you to gain more proper or more innovative result to your problem. So these are the things that will help you. Systematic way of doing research. As I said that here you should learn the tools that you can use for doing research, because nowadays in the research involves many things, like you need to write a good paper, you need to present whatever your idea is, then experimentation, then documentation.
Yeah.
So you can learn to use tools that are available for that. So that is also a good point that you should look for.
Learned meditation from you, and you have been sharing me like do meditate, and this will help you to be like more focused and less stressful. So my next question comes: what are the tips that are helpful for a student doing while doing PhD or doing research?
Yeah, means like the motivation is important, like I said
Yes.
in the start, that you should have faith on yourself so that you will be motivated, and this motivation is important. And as you say that meditation and yoga helps that you should be focused, that is important too. I think what is important is like as I said, don't isolate yourself, so you should keep your brain active. So this meditation gives you oxygen, lot of oxygen to your brain, so helps you to keep your brain active. But there are other ways of keeping your brain active also. Like you, as I said, keep learning other things, like keep learning something new, everything, new technology, new concept, or
Yeah.
any, say for example, you don't know how to use latex, so learn latex. You don't know how to use Zotero, learn Zotero. There are many tools that are coming for finding out or searching. Like say for example, even search, we generally use Google. So we are so habitual of the particular thing that we should try to change it. So
Right.
instead of Google search, any other search engine will be more useful to me. So these are the different things that one should keep trying. So that will keep your brain active. So that is one thing I would certainly like to say. And be in touch with positive people. Like
Right.
it's very important. Like there are people around us who keep on complaining always.
Right.
That okay, this thing is not good, our workplace is not good,
Right.
and then the people in another university get more fellowship, more amount than us, and the weather is not good, and
Yeah.
it's like lot of things. They keep on complaining.
Yes.
So avoid those people. Avoid those people, because they are not going to contribute anything in your in your research, because they are always going to complain anything. If you share your idea, they will find out the bad things. Okay, this, oh, you cannot do this because this is the already being done, and like that one, they will try to find out loopholes from that one. So avoid those people. You have to find people who are very positive. They will keep you motivated, because if you share anything, a simple idea, they say, oh wow, what a beautiful idea. So they will suggest, they will not outright reject your idea. They will say, oh wow, very good, and then they will add, okay, but why don't you try this one also?
Right.
So this is a way of guiding you, this is a way of helping you. So those positive people you identify, you should have 2, 3, 5 positive people around you, so that will help you. And this type of people are always better to have. Keep on learning, as I have said, and then you should set short-term goals also, because if you don't set, or if you don't schedule, say for example, for a day, for a day even you do not schedule, then it is not utilized, it is wasted. So scheduling is important. So you schedule, say for example, what will be my quarterly target, what will be my 6 monthly target. So set short goals and then try to achieve goals. So that will help you.
Wow, thank you, sir. These tips are really helpful. I hope it will reach out to many people who are just beginners or like confused state, what to do, how to perceive, and also even for people who are just like stuck and not able to move forward. I'm sure like when we hear from such experienced people, it just motivates, because I've always been motivated by you, and I felt like so much glad this will reach to many people. And let's hope that it will be helpful for many of our viewers and subscribers and people who are watching this show.
Yeah, I know, Dr. Monica, you are a very good researcher, and that's why you are a postdoc. So I really appreciate the initiative that you have taken. And it's really useful to the people around who are always get stuck in their research work. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, then. Thank you for so much for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Thank you.